Good morning, everyone. Checking in with all of you to help you out with today's assignments. This is day one from the Kinder packet, and hopefully you read the story about veterans. And for writing today, we are going to write about our favorite holiday. So I need you to think about your favorite holiday and think back to all the ones that we've already shared together in school. Starting from the very beginning when we started school, we talked about Johnny Appleseed and we had the apple tasting and made applesauce. And then we talked about how some of us during the month of October celebrate Halloween and some of us don't. And then we talked about Thanksgiving. And then moving a little bit forward, right before Thanksgiving, there was another one. It was Veterans Day that goes with our story. And then we moved on to Christmas and we talked about how there are other holidays that other people celebrate. And then we were off for 2 weeks. And when we came back, we celebrated Valentine's Day and learned about a few precedents in there. And then this week we had St. Patrick's Day, which we kind of touched on a little bit. And there are some other ones that are coming up too. We have like Mother's Day and Father's Day and that big one during summertime where there are lots and lots of fireworks. Do you remember what that one is called? I know a lot of you remembered that one. 4th of July. So there are a lot of holidays. And I think the one that I'm going to write about today is going to be Christmas. So the writing paper that is in your packet, I am going to kind of change it to what you and I do for writing. So at the very top, and you can have someone help you because you see the lines aren't there. So we're going to create it together. So at the very top, I need you to think about your holiday and you are going to write it right up here. So I'm going to take my pencil and write Christmas. And right under Christmas, here's Christmas. Right under it, I am going to make my line like we do in class, but not too big because I want to leave room for my illustration. You see how I did that? And it's okay if it's not straight, because remember, when we make mistakes, what happens to our brain? That's right, it grows another arm. It means you're learning. Okay, now I'm going to make a little line here and a little line here. Mine says Christmas, and if you want to copy mine, that's fine. You can do the same holiday. And we're going to do, usually we do are and have or is and can. Christmas, I'm going to write Christmas is. So I'm going to write is. And then I'm going to do Christmas looks. So I'm going to write looks. Okay, so see how this looks like what we do in class? And then right under it, I'm going to draw my two little lines that we do. And it's okay if it's not straight. And you see how I still have all this room for my illustration. So I'm going to do Christmas is, sorry, that's my bird, he's happy. And we are going to do Christmas looks. So first I'm going to think, Christmas is, what is it like during Christmas? So for me, Christmas is cold. Christmas is long because we do lots of activities the whole month. So I think I'm going to do Christmas is cold because we talked about how the weather has changed. So I'm going to write cold. And again, you can do your own holiday and write your own words. And then the next one, Christmas looks. And this one's fun because Christmas looks colorful with all of the lights that you see everywhere. Christmas looks bright because we see a lot of different lights and decorations everywhere you go, and all of the different gifts that you can buy. So I think I'm going to do Christmas looks colorful. And that is a really long word. And I'll put it up so that if you are doing the same, you can copy it. And you see, I thought, well, colorful's a really long word. So I gave myself plenty of space and I started way behind, and that's okay. Now I do have my crayons, and if you don't, you can use whatever you have. But I'm going to start with one sentence because that's all you need for right now. And if you're a superstar and you want to do the second one, I'll do the second one with you. But the first one I'm going to do is Christmas is cold. And remember, it's a slide. You have to have all 3 words for it to be a sentence. Otherwise, it's not a sentence. You can't say is cold, and you can't say Christmas cold. You need all 3 words to make it a complete sentence. Okay? So you can even take your finger right now. Remember, it's a slide. You start at the top of the slide. You go to the middle of the slide. You go to the bottom of the slide. So my sentence would say Christmas is cold. So I'm going to take my crayon and I'm going to circle it. This helps my brain by saying, look, yes, you have other words over here, but we're not going to pay attention to those. We are going to do these right here. So I'm going to put my crayon down, and now I just copy it. Christmas is cold. So on that very first line, I'm going to write it. Do it slow. Take your time. You're just copying the word from the from the top, sorry. Christmas. And then remember your finger spacing. Otherwise, it'll look like one giant word. And we don't want it to look like a giant word. We want it to look like a sentence. So what's our next word? Christmas. Go to your slide if you forget. Is what's your last word? Cold. Okay, there it is. I'm going to go back and check. Christmas is cold. Yep, I have 3 words. Now, what goes at the end of our sentence? Always, always, always. A period. So I'm going to draw my period. And if you have your crayons, we always circle our period with what? Red. Because it means stop. It tells the reader, stop, like a stop sign. And if red tells people to stop, what color are we going to use at the very beginning? Green. You're right. Green means go. Christmas. And that also is a reminder that that very first letter has to be a capital letter. Remember, it's a big one. And I don't have to worry about it because I already did it up here. And check, did it right there. So green means go. Christmas is cold. Now, for those of you who are superstars, if you want to write the second sentence, I am going to pick green. You're going to circle the second one. Christmas looks colorful, or whatever you wrote. So I'm going to take my crayon and circle it. This tells my brain, don't pay attention to the purple anymore. Now my new sentence is the green. And guess what? You still have Christmas at that top. Christmas looks colorful. All 3 words. You can't just say looks colorful. I don't know what looks colorful. It could be the bird looks colorful, the rainbow looks colorful. So that first word is what you're talking about. Is very important. Don't leave him out. Christmas looks colorful. So I'm going to write it right underneath. Sorry, my bird is just so happy to see you here. Okay. Christmas finger space. And if I'm going too fast, you can always pause it. Christmas. What's the next one? Looks and what's the last one? It's a slide. Top of the slide, the middle of the slide, the bottom. Colorful. I don't know if my word colorful is going to fit here, but thankfully I have an extra line down here. So I'm going to write colorful down here because I don't think I can squeeze it in there. So I'm going to write colorful down here. Colorful. Now, a lot of you love to write a period right here, but that's not the end of your sentence. You can only have one period, and that goes at the very end. Because my word is down here, that's the end of my sentence, not here. Okay? I know a lot of you do that. Christmas looks colorful. If you add that period right there, it makes your sentence say Christmas looks. And that doesn't make any sense. So make sure if you go to the bottom line, that's where your period goes. And I'm going to take my red so the reader knows that's where we stop. And I'm going to underline my green, In green, I'm going to underline my C. As a reminder, it has to have a capital. Check. Got it. So there we go. That's for superstars. Now is the fun part. It is the fun part where you get to illustrate, add lots of details. You've got all this space. So for me, my sentence says Christmas is cold and Christmas looks colorful. So my illustration has to match that. I can't just illustrate a picture of me shopping. Why? Because it's not about shopping. So I'm going to draw a Christmas tree by making a triangle. No scribble scrabble. Now I'm going a little bit fast, but you take your time. Add my trunk to my Christmas tree. And I have lights. Now you know how my illustrating skills are, but I persevere. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. Your brain grew another branch, another arm. It means that you are learning. And I'm going to make my tree look really colorful. Okay. And maybe I have one of those little tree skirts down here. Those are fun. Sorry if it's shaky. I'll get better. And maybe I have some presents down here. And they're colorful. Because that's what my sentence says. Maybe they have big bows. Okay. And maybe I'm going to illustrate a fireplace because it says it's cold. Looks more like that pizza oven we have at the kitchen across the street, huh? But that's okay. I'm going to draw a nice warm fire. Oh, there's my yellow. He was sneaky. He was trying to run away. Now you can't tell by looking at my illustration if this is outdoors or indoors. So I should draw a window. So it looks like beep beep. We are inside. That's the little windowsill. And maybe I have some curtains to make it look like oh, there we go. Now it's looking like I'm inside. Uh-oh. My curtain can't go. This is a short curtain because that's a fire hazard. I don't want my curtain to go in front of my fire. But, well, maybe it's behind. Maybe it's one of those fancy, like, fireplaces. Maybe I have, like, a chair over here. Like a comfy chair by the fire. See, you can get really creative. That looks good. Oh, and because that window is for outside, it's looking outside, I'm going to illustrate a sun. Oh, wait a minute. I said Christmas is cold. Sorry, Mr. Sun. We're going to have some clouds. Now, I know clouds are white, but remember, we have to outline them. And maybe to show it's cold, I'm going to draw some snowflakes, just like little, just to show it's cold. All right, so there we go. Now, what do you think? Do you think this is opinion writing where you're saying, I love Christmas? Or is this just information? We're giving people information. Now, it is your favorite holiday, but if it's opinion, what does it have to start with? I like. Does my sentence say I like? It doesn't. It just says Christmas is cold. Christmas looks colorful. So I'm giving information. If I wanted to make this opinion, then I could have written, I like Christmas. Christmas looks colorful. Christmas is cold. But I didn't. It's just for fun. Information. So thank you so much for coming on here and doing this writing lesson with me for day 1. I hope to see you around. If you did this already and you are ahead of the game, you're awesome. And if you did it totally different and you just illustrated a picture and wrote about your holiday, you still did it correct. I just wanted to get on here and show you a little bit of what we've done in our classroom. And I hope that you have a fantastic day and you finish the rest of the activities in your packet. My kids are going to do that right now, and I'm so excited to get outside. It's beautiful weather and get some fresh air. Have a great day, everyone.